Hey y'all, it's Steve, Hobo with Wood, and this week I have been busy making name signs for kids. We got Spidey, and this is a multi-layered sign, and a little T-Rex going on, a little Jurassic Park look. So I'm going to talk about this design specific or Pacific today and show you how I created this, and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. So hang around. Okay, guys and gals, this is the project we're going to look at today and how I created this, how I designed it. We're going to actually get into the actual design, the design process, creating in Lightburn. And then, as I said, this is multi-layers. This is, the blue is on a single layer. Each color is a different layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4 layers in this one sign. And I really like this. As in all things that I share, I try to be 99% original, or as original as possible. I will use some shortcuts, and if it's shared artwork, not copyrighted, I try not to infringe on anybody's business. I don't want them doing mine. But when I share my stuff with you here on YouTube and or Laser Maker's Realm, man, I don't put no copyright on it. If you take my stuff and you make $1 million, have at it. Just send me a little something. So let's jump into Lightburn and take a look at this design and this concept here. All right, so this is what I have on the laser right now. And you see there's one, here's the backboard. That's the backing. This is the next layer. This, in this case, is the red layer, painted red. This one is the next layer, which is painted black. And then the name Steve and the eyeballs are painted, or the mask eyes are painted white. Now, to maximize my usage of wood, I've got these all on the same piece of was it 300 by 300 material I got over there, 12 by 12 inch material. Then I'll place this here. So I have 3 different cut jobs sent to the laser to create this. But first, let's show you how easy it is to draw Spider-Man. Now, if you're going to create a sign and you're working with a given fixed piece of material, that's the first place I start. I put me a template out here for how big my material is going to be. Put that on a work path. This is 300 by 300. And that's the area that I need to design within. Now, why is it important that I start with this? Because I find when you're going to be designing things, especially Spider-Man and Spider-Man's web, if you design it too large and it looks good with the web features the way you want them, and then you scale them down, well, now you may have made them so minute that it's almost impossible for your laser to cut out and it not be too fragile. So I start with my known work area here, and Spider-Man, he's an egghead. And I'm going to have a nameplate on here. Center those up. Get that to where what kind of proportions that I think I want it to be. I want to be as big as I can, but this is 4 layers, 3 of which are going to be, or two will be offsets of the original, each getting consistently larger. So if I start here and I give myself an offset of 5 millimeters, there's one, and then another one offset. Alright, so that would all fit easily. In fact, I could even make it even larger. That's about as big as you're going to get out of a 300 by 300 piece of material. In fact, I'm going to take it down just a little bit, but I know that will work, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to take this down just a wee bit. And let's set the name out of the way. Now let's make Mr. Egghead here Spider-Man. Alright, first let's convert our oval into a path. Show the nodes. Let's grab this bottom node and I'm going to bring her down. As long as I don't go wider, I'm okay. Now I'm going to grab these two nodes and I'm going to take them up. Now I'm going to make him a little skinnier. He's a little fat-headed. That's starting to look pretty good. In fact, I like that. Alright, now let's get us over here to our polygon tool. And I'm going to draw out a little polygon. I'm going to put it in the center of the oval. And when you're looking at Mr. Egghead Spidey, let's put this on the red layer, it's easier to see. That little polygon is, for me, in reference to where his nostrils would be. So that actually looks about right. Now I'm going to come up here, let's zoom in a little tighter. Grab our pencil, and I'm going to come to that point on the polygon. Start a line and bring her up to I get an intersection there. We'll come here to this point. Get an intersection. Same point again. And now, in fact, let's do that one again. Okay, I think I like that. You know what? No, I'm going to get rid of that one. Come here. Start my pencil. Alright, now, while I'm in pencil mode, let's give us some lines here. In fact, I'm just going to come around here. got a job done on the laser. Yay! Alright, now I'm going to go up here to my node editing tool. And I'm going to select right here, and I'm going to hit the letter M. Come down here. M. M. Putting the middle node on all of these lines. Alright, now I'm going to select all of this, go into node editing, grab each of these middle nodes in this column, and I'm just going to grab this bottom one and bring it down about like that. Then I'll come over here and grab this. Actually, I need to, there we go. Now grab that, and that. You know what? I did not turn those into smooth lines, so let's start that over. I select all that, go into node editing. Now, over each one of these, I'm going to hit the letter S first. And now I'll select those that I've now turned into a curve. And now, there we go, that's looking better. And S. I forgot to unselect those other ones, so let's undo that move. And now just select these. S, 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 and select these. Alright, now let's look at that without the nodes. Are you starting to see Spidey? Now we got to create all that others. No, we don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my polygon and my egghead. I'm going to put it on a black layer. Put it in line mode so I can see everything. Now, if I select any one line on the red layer, then tell it to select all shapes on current layers. Select open shape nodes. Select all shapes in current layer. There we go. I'm blind for a second. Now that gives me all of those. Now I'm going to do, in fact, I'm going to group those. I'm going to hit a Control D, duplicate it, mirror it, bring that over, and all I gotta do is come right here and grab that point and put it right there on that polygon, and there's the other half of his face. I just need to create those middle lines. Go into pencil tool. It's on the wrong color, wrong layer, but it's okay. Done. Now I'm going to go into my node editing. M and S. Come down here, M and S, and here, M and S. Now I'm going to select that node, I'm going to select that node, select that node, and now just bring it down to give it a similar curve. Same thing down here. Node editing, come here, middle, smooth, MS, middle, smooth, MS. Select that one, and select that one, and bring those up. Okay. Now you're starting to see a little Spidey, a little something, something looking familiar. All right, let's put the polygon back on the red tool. In fact, we'll go ahead and put the outline back on the red tool. Now I'm going to select everything. I want to have these are lines. Obviously, you see me draw the lines. I'm going to offset tool, and I'm going to turn off outer shapes only. And let's do corners, and we're going to do 1 millimeter. That didn't work for me. All right, cancel that. There. What's going on? Why did? All right. So there. I could have just like, in fact, what I want is everything minus the outer face. So select it all. Now hold Control and left click, and that deselects that. Now I want to do an offset, and I want 1 millimeter offset. I want to do round, and let's take a look. Delete original objects. And okay. Alright. Now I'll do an offset of the outline, but I want this to be 2 millimeters so it matches. I did a 1 millimeter of the offset on the lines because I did a 1 millimeter offset in each direction, which made it 2 millimeters wide. So now if I do an outward 2 millimeter of just that egg, now it matches. I do not want to delete the original, say okay. Now I want to select just this and select that. Go to my Boolean tools, the Boolean assistant, and look to see which one is going to give me. I don't want that. That's what I want. So okay. So now you start to see Spidey. He needs eyeballs. But if we look online, let's see. Now, very, very similar. But instead of right-clicking and copying and pasting, I just drew my own Spidey. So that's the technique in which I use to create my Spidey. Come here, add him to the graphic. And see, he's actually my Spidey's a little skinnier, which at this point, that's not an issue. Just grab that whole thing. If he's a little fat-headed, we'll shrink him down. If he's a little tall-headed, we'll shrink him down. We don't want to go any wider than original because we don't want to get too big when it comes to being an offset issue or size issues. But anyway, so you do that. Then I created the eyeballs, used my cut path, create those, got them out, and that's how you get your Spidey-Man face. Once I've done that, and also you see that's also how I create the webs. Now this particular web, add to graphic, this particular web was created in a similar fashion, but this one is not as uniform, and it's actually more organic. It looks more realistic because it is not symmetrical. Then spiders are pretty good about symmetry, but they're not always perfect. So this particular spider web is from the art library of the Louisiana Hobby Guy. And if you haven't looked at his website or his cut files, you want to go check out the Louisiana Hobby Guy forum and check that out. So this is from his artwork, and I will be using that in my design, so I'm not just having to create all of it. I can, you've seen I could, but when I can take a shortcut, I will, as long as I'm not infringing on someone else's copyrighted material. Alright, now, let's delete all that. What? Yep, delete all that. We don't want none of that. Let's open up. Okay, so I had to shut the fans off on the lasers. Now it's a lot quieter in here. We can hear each other think. So now we're going to open up my template here. This will be the file that I have for sale on hobowithwood.com. It will come to you just like this. It is pretty self-explanatory, but if you've never done a file like this or built a layered file or project, having to bring in your own names and weld them into position. Let me show you how that's done real quick. I have toolpaths labeling each layer. This is layer 1. It's the very first layer, be the backboard. Layer 2 sits on top of that. I paint layer 1 blue, then I paint layer 2 red. Layer 3 I paint black, and that is the outlines of the web that would show through, or on the top of the red, giving you that Spider-Man mask illusion. But we got to put the name in there. And there's also these little eye cutouts right here. This is the left eye. It fits over, has a small offset, looks good that way. I paint those white. Layer 4 I paint white. Do the eyes white, and I do the name white. You can actually do the name in a different color. The eyes look good white because that's the way he is depicted in most illustrations. But there's a very crucial thing here. Before you use the Boolean tools to insert the name into layer 3, duplicate it. That will be your layer 4. Okay? So, what we have to do, and I have here, this is your name template, and you're going to use the Boolean tools to insert into layer 3. So you're going to put your name in here, use the Boolean assistant. If you're not familiar with your Boolean tools, about which one, use your Boolean assistant to put your name in, and then move that into position by just simply aligning this whole thing with that toolpath. And I'll show you how we do that. I'm going to create a name. You use the font and style of your choice. I use all caps. Makes it easier when it comes time to weld those into position. Take that, and let's see, is all this grouped? Should be. Yep, all that's grouped. So you can take your font, take your letters, then select that and just tell it to go to center. And what you're going to look for is to make sure you have your font overlapping the top line in this template and the bottom line. They must overlap. They must overlap. Now, select that, come up here to your Boolean tools, Boolean assistant, and then you just, as you hover over each one of these options, it'll show you a preview. Nothing is done until you select OK. So you don't want A, or union rather. Intersection, you don't want that because we're missing our spider webs now. That looks pretty good, yes, and that's what we want, but I'm going to show you the last option. There, so that's not what you want. So you know that's it, so select that and say OK. Now with that selected, just hold your shift key, select that toolpath, and tell it to center. Now, you have, but you know what I failed to do? Exactly what I told you to do a minute ago. And this is why. You do this before you do your Boolean. Now I don't have that font, or that exact cutout of the word Steve, in order to put on layer 4. So, even though I created this thing, and I forget it every darn time, but it's easy. You just undo, select that font, select that text, hit Control D. Now move it down out of the way. There you go, stupid. Now select everything, go back into Boolean Tools, Assistant, and that's the one we want. And what you're looking for is this up here needs to be open. You need those open, and I'll show you why. Say OK. Now select that toolpath and put it in the center of that toolpath, because now if we turn that toolpath off, now what you see, this is all going to be still attached. That'll be a cutout. Your webs will be there. The letters will be there. But nothing's going to fall out when you pick it up off of your work table. I spray paint that entire layer black. I spray paint my duplicate white and then glue it right onto the top surface to give me my fourth layer that goes with the eyes. Like I said, if you did it in a different color, that's totally up to you. But FYI, if you're trying to get that Spidey theme, his colors are red, white, blue, and black. So, there you have that. So hopefully I didn't confuse you too much on there. Like I said, turn that back on so you can see. Right there is the biggest thing. Before, and I forget it every time, before you use the Boolean tools to insert your name into that layer 3, duplicate it. You need that duplication. So, this file will be just as I showed you on hobowithwood.com, and create you some fun. I have been selling the hound out of these. Here is that finished. And you can see the layers, the gloss, the finish I got on here is spectacular. But this is a gorgeous project. Using those Boolean assistants, you can make any name you want to be in there. I like the webs. I like the theme. I like the colors. You can make this your own. I've been selling these like crazy, $40 a piece, as fast as I can make them. The file will be on my website, and I hope you download it, make you a ton of money, and if you get to be a millionaire, remember a little hobo. And send me a little something, something. You know, that's my thing. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this somewhat informative and definitely enjoyable. And I thank you for your support. I want to say a special thank you to all my patrons. Guess what, guys? This is free to all of my patrons. So thank you, patrons, for your support. It does mean more than I can convey. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.